All right, guys, we're going to flip this around. And going to be going through some old school magazines. I got a couple great ones here. Some of them are from roundabout when I was born. So we'll wait for a couple people to roll up. And we're going to get started here. So, Strength and Health magazine, 1978. That's from when I'm 3 years old. Strength and Health magazine, 1968. And I was looking for these old advertisements from Strength and Health or Muscular Development on the Hercules barbell set from York Barbell. And I sent my buddy Ivan an email and I said, imagine saving up your money for I don't know how long. You get that paper out. Maybe you're working as a busboy or a waiter at the local diner. Maybe your dad put in a couple of bucks and you live 3 hours from York, Pennsylvania, from York Barbell. And so, you know what? You're like saving money and you can't wait to buy the Hercules barbell set. You're in the old station wagon. There's no air conditioning. Your dad's got the 8-track going, playing Chuck Berry for 3 hours. And I think about just the training and the advertisements in here, kind of I don't want to say what they promised, but check this out. These are some of the early York ads. All right, 1978 Olympic International plates. I actually have a pair of 25-kilo plates. They're the plates with the rubber surrounded them. Wow, Jim Sloan saying he saved up all his money. And so think, what the hell, man? A Hercules barbell set. How fired up are you to make that happen? And also, check this out. Training photos of John Kolb. I've got some videos on my YouTube where I interviewed his son Tanner, who's a strength coach at University of West Virginia. Awesome dude. We have multiple videos on there. And they're training in a gym. I don't know if this is like in the basement of a pub, but it's called the Red Bull Inn. And it's part of the Steelers. And you could see these guys lifting heavy. And that was the way. That was common activity. And so you could see a photo of it here. It looks like it was some sort of a bar or a pub where they would train out of. And York Barbell ads for all of their equipment were here, whether it was protein powder, training equipment. And so here's Strength and Health 1968, before I was born. I was born 1975, and I'm going to show you guys some of these ads. I mean, they just fired you up. And also the training was amazing. I've posted photos of this on my blog. You could always check that stuff out. But look, Princeton University basketball player training on a York isometric rack, 1968. Pretty amazing that before I was born, 50 plus years ago, guys were training for sport, even back when they were saying you'll be muscle bound, your muscle will turn to fat. Those times, people today are still not training. And so I'm going to show you guys now some of the older ads, and they really fired me up. So this is Muscular Development 1979. And this is just one of the photos. Back then, you've got no Chat GPT. You had to get a artist, some guy to pencil sketch it. But check this out. And this is not even the best drawing, all right? There's one that actually looks like Hercules, and I couldn't find it with all my magazines here. I can't find it. 555-pound power set, $232.50. I don't know what shipping would cost. 355 pounds, $156. Customer will pay shipping charges on delivery. From York Barbell. Hercules barbell set. Okay, Muscular Development, 1982. This is kind of like I don't want to say the end of the golden era, but golden era bodybuilding, in my opinion, was the 70s. I've got some photos here of John Gamble and Bill Dunn Josh Bryant has shared a little bit of this photo on his Jailhouse Strong page. And in here, they're talking about doing heavy training with dumbbells. And I'm going to show you guys just some photos here. You can see them big guys doing hanging leg raises. They've got basically like a set of monkey bars there. Cable rows, bodybuilding work, which I've shown in a recent post on John Cook's training, high volume. And I'm going to show you another photo, but they're talking about doing high repetitions with dumbbells. Something I speak to athletes about all the time. Look at that photo of John Gamble. There you go, dumbbell training. I see skinny athletes all the time, and I tell them, guys, dumbbell squat, 5 sets of 10. Dumbbell bench, 3 sets of 10. Pull-ups, get 50 total. Push-ups, get 50 total. And here is the later ads of the Hercules power set. Not as cool, if you're asking me. Not as cool as the drawings, but man, everywhere you looked, York advertising. York advertisements. They were the king of strength training. Okay, let's see if I could find you the last advertisement that I wanted to show you of York Barbell. The whole back of the magazine was York Barbell ads. This one I can't find. So let me show you something else. This is from June 73, before I was born. This was a community college building literally an Olympic weightlifting team. Athletes to train and compete on a national and possibly Olympic level. And if you look at the weights, let's show you guys this again. There's no bumper plates. They're cleaning and doing snatches with steel plates, with real iron. They've got the plywood down, and they've got almost like this carpet for dropping weights. The first York Barbell gym was the second floor of the York Oil Burner Company. That was Bob Hoffman's company, York Oil Burner Company. And the weightlifters could not drop the weights or it would go through the floor. So they had to muscle the weight down, and those eccentrics build strength. They build size. And that's something that a lot of coaches forget about, is that how do we have a transfer of training? If we want an athlete to improve their game speed, their ability to decelerate and change directions, lower weights slowly. Cal Dietz does this with triphasic. He does the eccentrics. He calls it tissue remodeling. But basically, the lowering, the eccentric, builds muscle and helps improve the athlete's ability to put on the brakes in sport. That's it, guys. I'm going to hop in the station wagon, pump up the 8-track with some Chuck Berry, maybe some Elvis, and I'm going to drive to York, PA, and get myself a Hercules barbell set.